Sophomore Keaton Fenwick may seem like your ordinary college student, but what he does when the school day wraps up is what many people find to be unexpected and far from ordinary.
You're a little tight. All right, and give me plus 100.
I knew I was interested in aviation, and my dad, who flew on C-130s in the Air Force before I joined, he said, well, if you are interested in aviation, you want to pay for school, you could join the military and also fly on C-130s while you do that. I was like, okay, yeah, I'll do that. The main job I have is loadmaster, and that's basically you calculate the weight and balance of the C-130 and make sure that your numbers are right so that you don't overbend or overstress the aircraft. Because when you're in the airplane and when you're in any airplane, when you're flying in the air, the wings will bend, and the fuselage, which is like the body of the aircraft, twists and contorts, and you have to make sure that the center of gravity is properly placed, and that your fuel burn off isn't going to affect that. The amount of people you have isn't going to affect that. The amount of armor you have on the aircraft isn't going to affect that. I also do airdrop, where we'll drop anything from small tanks to just people out of the air. And they parachute down to the ground for either the Army, the Marines. Sometimes we'll drop Navy SEALs, which is pretty cool. I took on extra duties, public affairs, where I make and edit videos for them. And then I also do recruiting events where I will go to different colleges, universities, high schools, middle schools, and then we'll even do like career days for elementary schools and stuff like that.
Fenwick said joining the military has always been a back thought in his mind, but he didn't quite solidify this decision until his later years in high school.
It was actually a pretty easy decision throughout the course of it. I think it was the only time I actually struggled with the decision was the day of my oath of enlistment, when it was like no turning back. I do it today and I'm in. That day, I think I woke up and I was like sitting in my room and just like at the foot of my bed, like contemplating like, am I making the right decision? Turns out I did.
Down the runway, hold your nose up.
I've known Keaton for about a year now. We met through our communication class together. My family's big into planes, and so my dad has always talked about space and all that kind of stuff. And when he was like, oh, well, that's my job, like that's what I do, I was like, oh my gosh, that's super cool. And he always, like, I think every day of class had some kind of story about what he did at work, or, Kate, look at this cool picture of me on a plane. Like, always super excited to tell me about it. Definitely, I don't think I could do it. He misses a lot of school, and I'm someone who's, like, needs to be in, like, a classroom, or I can't do it as well. And he, in between, like, traveling, I mean, he was in Germany over the summer, or he's been to Canada, I mean, all over the world. And I don't know how he adjusts back to the time zones and getting all his schoolwork turned in. I would forget about school, to be honest, and just focus on like military stuff. So for him to be able to balance both and have like a social life here, it's incredible.
When I first met him, I thought he was kind of like serious, but like a funny guy, like comical. And yeah, when he told me he was in the military, I was kind of wondering like how he balanced that with school as a college student full time. And my first semester I had every class with him, so I noticed he would do schoolwork during the week a lot just to keep up, so he would always do it before it was due, try not to procrastinate.
Fenwick says he has grown and matured immensely compared to when he first joined the military.
I joined very confident that I was going to be like, that it wasn't going to be that big of a deal, like, I'm going to crush it, whatever. And I got to basic training, I was like, this is the worst. So, and I got out of basic training, again, feeling like, oh yeah, I just crushed that, like I did it, and I like, super confident all the time, like I kind of know-it-all type. I went through like my aircrew fundamentals course, my basic loadmaster course, and then I went through SEER, which is like survive, evade, resist, escape training. That showed me like, not only do I need to be confident, but in a good way, physically, but I also need to be confident mentally and just like academically. I've always wanted to see the world. I love traveling. Growing up, I didn't know if I wanted to move out of Kentucky or stay in Kentucky. And traveling, I think now, I've only been flying for about 2 years, and I've been to, I think, 29 to 32, I might have lost count, 29 to 32 different states that I've never been to, and I think 8 to 9 different countries that I haven't been to, and traveling is definitely my favorite thing. And it's my favorite thing because all those places not boring at all. They're all very extravagant, very entertaining. It's actually, traveling has made me appreciate Kentucky more because of how boring it is. So you get to go home and just, kind of relax. But it's definitely the traveling. I love traveling.
Despite Keaton's rigorous military schedule, he still finds success on Bellarmine University's campus. Thanks for watching. I'm Sophia Schindler with Knights Media Network.